Welcome back to the second quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, along with my sidekick, Andrew.
Good morning.
And let's get into a couple of our sponsors. Then we've got all kind of good news to pass on to
Casa Ole here in Opelousas is right off the Service Road. Go for your authentic Mexican cuisine right there. And you might notice a couple of changes going on there as they rebrand and rename as they're going. But we appreciate all their years of advertising with us here on the Bobby Dupre Show and on KDCG, sponsoring the Swamp and Roll Show.
You bet.
And go by and try all the good margaritas, the great fajitas and tacos and burritos. They've got the full selection, great lunch specials, and great happy hour there as well. Don't forget they got a drive-through window. If you want to pick up food and drinks to bring home, you can do that as well at Casa Ole in Opelousas. And how about Dixle Storage? All your storage needs. You know, you probably got something new for Christmas. You got to take the old thing and put it there till it goes to the camp. Maybe it goes with the kid that's going off to college or something like that. Or maybe you're going to send it to another one of the kids' home. Go by Dixle Storage. They've got units in Port Barre, Opelousas, and Washington. Small if you need to just put a handful of things for storage. Big if you want to put your big things in, like your big toys, your RVs, your boats, and all that, with electricity if you need, climate-controlled units if you need. They'll do warehousing for you. They've got full warehouses with loading docks, trucking, railroad spur access. They'll truck your inventory around for you. Finish delivering your load for you if you're a trucker. And they've got their sister company, A+ Glass, with locations in Opelousas and in Lafayette. They can do all your glass work for your cars, your 18-wheelers, your house, your commercial, and
here in Opelousas, they do inspections. I'm not sure about Lafayette. We'll have to check that out. But I know in Opelousas they do truck inspections, and not too many people that do that. So keep that in mind. Give them the business. It's a drive-through. It's out the weather, and you drive in on Landry Street and you exit on Vine Street. Nice and easy. On your way.
Now you had one more obituary that you had got to.
That we had not got to, and I apologize to the Freelow family. Billy Freelow, age 74 years old, a retired law enforcement officer here in Opelousas for all of his adult life, practically. And the last picture I have of him attending an event was over at Mr. Robert Nellam's about 2 months ago. He was sitting down, if I recall correctly, and looks just like the picture. With the cowboy hat. With the cowboy hat, looks just like that. And had some good times together, a lot of different political functions over the years. He was Opelousas Police for years. Then he was Sheriff's Department with Sheriff Howard Zarang. Howard Zarang for a number of years. And he worked someplace in the last few years, I think, but I don't know that. But to his wife, Miss Daisy, our very deepest of sympathies, and he also leaves behind a son, Damien, and a daughter, Elise. And the Ford and Joseph Funeral Home is, while we're talking here, they're waking his body, and in a few minutes the funeral services will actually be taking place over at Queen of Angels Catholic Church with Monsignor Derouin officiating the funeral services. And then the burial will be near St. Anne's in Freelow Cove, of course. Where he's from. The home spot. That's correct. We got a nice note from Link Savoie that wanted to let veterans know there's a new thing Louisiana's providing. You know, a lot of events that you go to as a veteran, they ask you, are you a veteran? Do you have proof that you're a veteran? Well, what the Louisiana Department of Motor Vehicles has done is you can bring your DD Form 214 or your honorable discharge papers to the Driver's License Bureau, and they will give you a new driver's license with the word veteran imprinted for free. So you can use your driver's license as your veteran's card to go show it around if you go to different events. Well, that's good, because you're not going to have the other paper too hard to carry the other paper, but you can show that you've proved to the state that you are a veteran and that you are honorably discharged, and so here's your stuff. What do they need to bring? Bring that DD Form 214 or your honorable discharge papers to the motor vehicles, and if all that's good, they'll give you the new driver's license for free if you're a veteran. So get that taken care of. And Mr. Link also reminded everybody that we have about 75 veterans right now in our local nursing homes in St. Landry Parish. If you get a minute, go by. And of course, that applies to every parish. If you get a few minutes to go by, just ask to speak to a veteran. If maybe you were a veteran or you want to just tell them thank you. And also, there is some work taking place on the Veteran Memorial site on Highway 182. I was happy to see that some work is taking place. And I had a call from Mike Morton. He's one of the gentlemen, big, tall, slim Mike, gentleman in the syndicate I'm running. And from the Karen Crow area, he wants 1 or 2 or 3 bricks for he and members of his family. So those are $50, if my memory serves me right. I think so. And you can contact me, and I can put you on to Miss Patricia
Mason
Gildery, and I have her cell number I could give to you.
And we also, while we're
talking, I gave him the information of how to get. He called me while I was driving. I need to call him and give him the phone number.
And while we're talking about veterans, show this photo too here, Steve, for us. Over at Underpont Printing, they reprinted the booklets of the armed services at the end of the Second World War. I think around 1944. I say the end of near the end of the Second World War. They printed all the military guys, and Underpont Printing reprinted the books. The white soldiers were, I think, in one booklet, and the black soldiers were in a different booklet, and they printed them to look like the original booklets for you. If you want to go by and get copies, the booklets are $25 each. And of your $25, $5 goes to help pay for the Veterans Memorial, because they still need donations, they still need help.
We need money.
If you can help them out. So very nice project that Philip's up to there.
Give them a little update on our
Santa Claus
breakfast.
All right.
For the Cerebral Palsy Clinic.
Right now, you know, we're trying to get to 47.5. We can get to 47,500. Santa's got to write another check for another 5,000. As of today, as of this morning, when I came into the studio, we're sitting at about 44,280 bucks. So that's almost identical to what we got last year. I mean, that's within $100, $200 of last year's number.
So we'll say the same.
We got to go a little bit more.
We need about $3,000 more.
So if you want to send a donation,
then it's going to cost me $5,000 more.
That's right.
I already gave $5,000.
Make him pay. Make him pay.
I want to pay.
Send some money to make him pay, even if it's $10.
If you look back at your letter we sent you, I said at $50,000 I'd do this, but I've had a good year. My kids are healthy. I'm healthy. What more can we
So he's going to meet us halfway.
That's correct.
All we got to do is get there.
Get to 47.5. Listen to me now. One or a few of you people that, you know, maybe give 1,000 or more. We have several that give more than 1,000. If y'all would get together, y'all could team up on me, and we could. And then I'd take y'all to dinner for that.
How you like that? Get a free dinner out of it as well. This is all to help the Opelousas Area Cerebral Palsy Clinic. Breakfast with Santa, P.O. Box 70, Opelousas, Louisiana, 70571. And you've seen the photos of the kids. You can look at our photo galleries. The kids really need the help.
What about the Ragin' Cajuns football? The game was, I mean, it was a top-notch game, high scoring. UL won the game with a 43-34 to East Carolina University. East Carolina came back from a 21-point deficit and at one point tied. They never did lead, I don't think, but they tied the game. And I needed to leave at halftime.
But you know what the Cajuns did? They didn't let go of the rope. That's what the coach says. He says, don't let go of the rope. Keep hang on to the rope.
Hang on, and we will come back. And the difference, of course, again this year, was the extra point field goal. Bear.
He's a good kicker.
Good kicker, and I'm sure we'll see him on Sundays at some team.
Might make it.
Make it. I think he can make it. He's done it under a lot of pressure, and the last 9 points were scored by 3 field goals.
And the team looks good. The cupboard is not bare. They're going to have a bunch of people coming back, a bunch of young kids on that team.
Cajuns will return with talent in 2013. That's very important. And the whole town is really, really fired up. And it was a Red Sea in New Orleans. I know New Orleans would like to have the Cajuns back next year, and I made both games, and I would like to go back next year too. But I know the players would like to go to a different.
If they can.
If they can.
Right.
If not.
In only so many years you can go to the same bowl they have to rotate.
Then on the other hand, they get a lot of their families and their close friends and the student body that follows them and can watch them win another game. So not bad. I'll take it again.
Take whatever we can get.
Whatever we can get.
Let's show some photos because some of that's going to cover the game.
I was sitting down with having lunch, going over some business material with Jim Lopez at Swallows Dinner Club. Must have been last Thursday. And these two guys that I'm seeing taking a picture with walked up to me and started a conversation. And Ray Thomasy is on the left, and he was quick to tell me, he says, I married Mary Faith Weibel. I said, really? I said, Wayne and Freddie's sister. That's correct. He said, we back in town, and he did music. I guess he still does a little music. And the gentleman on the right side is Oscar Bernard. And of course, Oscar and Rod Bernard lived across the street from Cody on Cruchet Street.
Brothers.
Or brothers, right. And this could go on forever. Is that what?
Rod's big hit.
That's Rod's big hit.
Yeah.
And they both musicians, and they had been over to Floyd's record shop in Ville Platte, kind of seeing the place for the last time. Last Saturday or last Thursday was the last day, I think.
I think so.
I think so. I think it was the last day, and they had gone by, and they were able to visit with Floyd Swallow, and that made them happy because they've known Floyd, and he recorded so many of these Cajun Swamp songs, and all types of music.
Without him, where would Cajun Swamp have gone? I mean, you know, he was the guy pressing those records.
Pressing the records, and that was Wednesday. I said Thursday, but that was Wednesday lunch at Swallows. Those are our good friends
at the Palace Cafe. I see Miss Tina ringing them up in the background, but who you got in the foreground?
Okay, let me see. Let me get my notes. I've got them right here.
Right there.
Oh, yeah. Aaron Roy on the left. From all of these graduated from Opelousas Catholic. Well, back in those days, it was AIC. Aaron Roy on the left. In the center is Don Elder. He lives here, still lives here in Opelousas. Aaron lives in Baton Rouge. And Richard Dejean. And Richard lives in Sumner, Washington, way yonder. And I said, what got you to move over there? He says, and he looked at me straight and just like this. He says, hunting and fishing, and he's still doing it. It's beautiful country, and I really enjoyed my visit. Aaron I had not seen. Well, Aaron or Richard, I don't think I had seen maybe since they graduated. And I worked for Richard Dejean's daddy and his uncle, George Dejean and Charles Genet, over at Cash Drug Wholesale. I went to work, listen to this, I went to work at 6 o'clock in the morning each day. And, you know, stayed up like the rest of the guys, cutting up at night. But 6 o'clock, I was at work till 8 o'clock, and then in the summer worked all day long. Cash Drug Wholesale. And this is a gentleman that I met over at the fairgrounds. Went over to the fairgrounds. And just hold tight here. I've got his card, Mr. Wagner. And he is in the insurance business. Where?
I don't know. It can't be far.
Oh, no, it can't be far. Let me give me a second to look for it. Right.
We're going to run up against our break.
And yep.
If we ain't careful.
Okay.
Nope. Not there?
Nope.
All right. Well,
yeah, here it is. Right here.
All right.
Right here. Mr. Brian Wagner.
Right.
He's the president of Brian Wagner Insurance, and he sells the health insurance lines primarily. And his wife is on the racing commission.
Oh, really?
And when I was getting off the racing commission, she was coming on the last regime, so she was a holdover into this, and I did get to tell her hello. Good morning to all of you.
It's halftime. We'll see you all after a 1-minute break here on KDCG Television.